These surahs, they keep bringing up two subjects. What two subjects? Qur'an and Judgment Day. Now you'll understand why. Because the coming of the Qur'an is the biggest indication that the only thing left now to come from God is Judgment Day. The one major thing that had to come from Allah is the Qur'an. The next major thing that has to come from Allah now is Judgment Day. That's it. That's it. The last time the legion of angels came to deliver the Qur'an. The next time the legion of angels come, it's going to be to deliver Judgment Day. Right? وَنُزِّلَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ تَنزِيلًا. Now we get to the second ayah. لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاذِبًا. It has a few meanings. Let me first translate this ayah for you, okay? There's multiple translations possible. In fact, I think I wrote some of them here. There will be no person left able to speak an untruth about it. When it happens, when the incident, the ultimate incident actually happens, there will be no person left able to speak an untruth about it. Another interpretation could be, there will be no slowing down or obstructing it. Kathiba, another meaning of kathiba is to slow down or to obstruct. Like, oh, this major event is happening, let's do something that slows down the progress. Like an army is advancing, let's put some obstacles in their path. You won't be able to put any obstacles in the path of the coming of Judgment Day. So let's read some of the notes from these remarkable scholars. Al-lamu fi li waqatiha lamu tawqit. So this lam, li waqatiha, for those of you that are a little bit Arabic students, the lam here refers to time, at the time of. So this is used, for example, aqim as-salata li duluki ash-shams, or lamma ja'a Musa li miqatina, at the time of our meeting. So the lam is being used for at the time of. This is an important side note for those of you that are interested in like, oh no, I want to really understand the Qur'an. I want to get a word for word dictionary of the Qur'an. Laysa has a meaning, li has a meaning, waqati has a meaning. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Lam can have like 50 meanings. And if you learn one meaning and you think that's what it means every time you see a lam, you've got yourself a problem. But why is that? Why does it have so many meanings? It's so confusing. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? You don't have that problem in English? You don't have the problem of the same word having multiple meanings in English? You don't say something like screen, or let's say a journal. When an accountant says, I finished the journal, he's not talking about his personal emotions. When a little girl says, I'm writing in my journal, she's not talking about tax season. You know, when an author, when a magazine or a publisher says, we're going to publish a journal, they're not talking about accounting. The same word journal, right? The academic is publishing in a journal. The magazine is a journal. The 14-year-old's diary is a journal. The accountant has a journal. There's like so many journals, you know? And the sailor has the journal's log. All of them are journals. The word site. The contractor who's ruining your house says, I'm working on the site. And you're a developer and you're working on a site. Aren't you? They're two different, same word, different meanings. Deal with it. That's language. That's not Arabic. It's so confusing. Language is like that. Language is a living thing. Words can be used in many different ways. So one of the things I'm warning you about, because Muslims are like, I want to get the easy solution, because we're in the age of lose 10 pounds in 10 days. And now we have learn Arabic in 20 days and learn 85% of all of the Qur'an, just as PDF. And you will, no, you won't. No, you won't, bro. Don't do that to yourself. Like it'll be a good start. And then people have these like, brother, if I learn Arabic, right, will I know everything about the Quran? No, I don't know everything about the Quran. Like, huh? You don't know? Yeah, I don't. Why do we think that we need to, like, it's like this product that we have to conquer? The Quran is an endless ocean of wisdom. Let's humble ourselves when we enter it, right? So let's pay attention to the words and stick to a slow but patient journey with this book. Anyway, السقطة القوية وشاعت في وقوع الأمر العظيم. Actually, Alusi says that waqa'ah also means when something falls from a very high place down. Waqa'ah, to fall hard, like the rain falls hard, right? So he says it's gonna fall hard, and that's why it was used for some serious matters. Waqa'ah was not just used for any incident. Like if you were talking to your friend and then your other friend says, what did they say? What did they say? What was the waqa'ah? That's not a waqa'ah. But if there was a bomb that was dropped in a war zone, or if some major event happened, or earthquake happened, or a tsunami happened, that's a waqa'ah. Serious incident, some really heavy thing that falls. وَقَدْ تُخَصُّ بِالْحَرْبِ. It's also actually in Arabic literature, he argues, it was used particularly for wars, major wars. As if by using the word al-waqi'ah, Allah is saying Allah is bringing His war to His enemies. People who rejected Him, that wanted to declare war on Him, right? He says, okay, you've had your turn to wage your war on me, my turn. This is my war back with you. So the word waqi'ah is scary in that sense. وَلِذَا عُبِّرَ هُنَا إِشَارَ إِلَى أَنَّهَا تَقَعُ دَفْعَةً وَاحِدَةً. See the waqa'ati, the ta in waqa'ati, the word is falling. The ta means it's going to happen one time. Like the enemies of Allah take these little jabs, right? They take thousands and thousands of little jabs, and Allah does not respond. And then Judgment Day, Allah is going to respond how many times? Once. One and done. One and done. You know? So this is the description is showing you the power of Allah's response compared to what we think are massive, monumental launches of attacks against Islam or against Allah. Like, oh my God, you know what they're saying? You know what they're doing? Calm down. It's just flies buzzing around. It's okay. It's a waqi'ah coming. Don't worry about it. It's okay. The Qur'an puts the believer at ease with these ayat. لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا إِشَارَةً إِلَّهَا تَقَعَ Actually did that. So, ismu fa'il. One meaning of it is, لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا kathiba. When that day comes, then nobody will be left there's nobody left who's unconvinced, who can say an untruth. Nobody's going to stand there and say, yeah, still don't believe it. I don't think this really happened. This is a really good meta, VR. Even the heat, it's real, feels real. Nobody's going to do that. And nobody's going to be talking like that. Even Allah says, أَلَيْسَ هَذَا بِالْحَقِّ. Is this real or what? There's a question on Judgment Day. Is this real or what? Because some people kept saying this isn't real, right? Other people are not convinced. وَجُوِّزَ أَيْضًا أَنْ كَوْنَ كَاذِبًا مَصْدَرًا بِمَعْنَى التَّكْذِيبِ. So this leads me to another really interesting thing. I want to drill this in your heads. Those of you that are going to be listening to recordings, we're going to hear me say this over and over again because I want some concepts drilled in your head. I want to teach you something about the word kathib or kizb, lying, and what the Arabs say about this word. When the temperature is really hot, burning hot, and finally it cools a little bit, they say kathab al-hur. The temperature broke. When your eyes aren't working the way they should, you're blurry in your vision, and you can't exactly see, right? Then they say kathab al-ain. The eye is not doing what it's supposed to. It's getting weaker. Kathab al-sayr. When you're traveling, and you're walking, but you're wobbling in your walk, or you're like kind of falling on every step, then they say you're doing kathab in your walk. When the animal, some animals move quickly, but if an animal is moving slowly, jara shawtan thumma waqaf, walks slowly, then looks around, then walks a couple of steps, then looks around like a squirrel, looks around like a deer, walks a little bit, then checks if I thought I heard something. But it doesn't have smooth movement. That's actually called kathab also. All of it boils down to one thing. The word kathib has to do with dropping intensity. Something was moving and it dropped, the temperature dropped, the eye dropped in its intensity of sight. The people couldn't travel. In fact, when a group of people are traveling and they can't afford to travel anymore, they say kathab al-qawm as-surah. In fact, kathaba was also used for being a coward. Ma kathaba, he wasn't a coward. Like he didn't falter. So why is this important? Because all the words in Arabic for truth have to do with toughness and strength. And the word for lie has to do with softness and weakness and breaking stamina. That's what it has to do with. And slowing down. So part of the meaning here, لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاثِبًا, is then there's not going to be anything that can slow this day down. Like it's getting really hot. Can something break this temperature a little bit? Can this come down in intensity a little bit? How long will this last? Because when human beings experience a storm, an earthquake, a thunderstorm, whatever, then they're like, it's going to be over soon. It's going to be over soon. The temperature's going to break. The storm's going to pass. This storm ain't passing. It keeps on going and going and going. لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاثِبًا. So now this on a side note, something you should know about kathib also. I've put this in the notes here. There's two kinds of kathib, and one of them is lying. So don't just translate kathib or kathaba as lying. So one is you know something to be true and then you lie on purpose. So that's definitely kathib. But then the other is when you say something wrong, but you actually believe it. So to be wrong is also to be a kathib. So if I say, if a fellow student of yours, colleague of yours in university says, I don't believe in God, they're actually a kathib. Not because they're lying, because you say you're lying, you do believe. No, because they believe something that's false. They believe something that's a lie. That also makes them a kathib. So when Allah will describe people that do takthib on Judgment Day, there's going to be two kinds of people. There's going to be people that knew it's the truth and still called it a lie. And there are other people who believe the lies instead of believing the truth. They're both going to be mukathibin. And they're both going to be kathibin. Okay? So on that day, there's not going to be any room left for any of these arguments, as if Allah is saying, don't worry about the arguments they're making right now. All these arguments are going to disappear on Judgment Day. Yeah, how can you believe in resurrection? When you're resurrected, you're like, oh. الهاء للمبالغة كما تقول في الواقعة. The ha in waqatiha is actually for the greatness of the event. And notice the repetition of words. Waqa'at, waqi'a, waqatiha. You hear the word over and over again? You don't have to say it over and over again. إذا وقعت الكائنة you could say also, right? الحادثة you can say also. You can say الداهية, or any word can be used, but he repeats the same word over and over again because literally, like waqa'a means to strike and strike and strike like patterns of the rain. The word itself is striking down in the surah. It's corresponding to its own meaning in the way that Allah Azza wa Jalla has described it in the surah. وَأَن تَكُونَ لِلتَّعْلِيلِ أي لا تكذب نفس في ذلك اليوم لشدة وقعتها. Because of how serious that event is going to be. Even when they wake up, like when people wake up on Judgment Day, if you wake up all of a sudden you don't know where you are. It's not like everybody knows, oh my God, this is Judgment Day. This is exactly what that Muslim guy was talking about on campus. They don't know that immediately. They're like, oh, what's going on, bro? Oh my God, what happened to the sky? Like, they don't know, right? But you know what Allah is saying here? Because of the li waqatiha, He's actually saying, because of what is going to be happening all around, nobody will have any doubt that it is in fact Judgment Day, even if they never thought about Judgment Day a day of their life. They never cared about it, heard about it. When this happens, they will know it's Judgment Day just because of how intense it is. Oh my God, this is Judgment Day. Even though I never really read up on anything, I know now full well this exactly is Judgment Day. SubhanAllah. Like all of that distraction and all of that doubt and all of that agnosticism gone in a split second. No philosophical arguments needed. Nobody's even asking, what's happening? What's going on? لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاذِبَةٌ خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. What an ayah, man. This ayah. خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. خَافِضَة means lowering. Rafi'ah means elevating. Okay? So let's dig into both of these words. The first word is خَافِضَة. It comes from khafd. الْخَفْضُ الْمُطْمَئِنُّ مِنَ الْأَرْضِ. Depressed land. Depressed land doesn't mean sad land. It means low elevation. Yeah? Depressed land. It is considered the antonym of rafa, high land. Humbling a camel down. When the camel's head is put down, they say at-tafkhid, at-takhfid. This is also used for when you're humble to someone. خَفَضَ لَهُ جَنَاحَهُ. Like the ayah, وَخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ. The expression used for parents. To humble yourself, to lower yourself. So the first meaning is something, this day itself, the waqi'ah is going to be a hafidah. So waqi'ah is feminine, hafidah is feminine. So hafidah is a description of waqi'ah. So then what this means is that day is going to be something that brings down. And then rafi'ah means the easy meaning. Rafi'ah means elevation. So it will bring down and it will elevate. Okay, or it will humble and it will honor. Because khafd also means humbling, right? So it will humble some people and it will honor some people. So let's see how Alusi and some others talked about this. تقديم الخفض على الرفع رفع لتشديد التهويل. He says lowering was mentioned before elevating to make us scared. Because elevating is positive and lowering is negative. He started with the negative. أو بيانا لما يكون يومئذ من حط الأشقياء إلى الدركات ورفع السعداء إلى درجات الجنة. Allah. He says, or Allah is describing that day how people that are miserable are going to keep getting lower and lower and lower and lower on Judgment Day, and people that believed are going to be happy, and their happiness and their joy is going to keep on what? Elevating. So as the moments of Judgment Day pass, every moment passing increases their happiness. خافضة rafi'ah صفتان للنفس الكاذبة. This is a secondary opinion that Razi mentioned. You see that cute little star there in my presentation? That's when somebody says something special. I put a little sticker there. But this is kind of a unique opinion that he has. I thought it was pretty cool. He says these are describing not the day of judgment. The lowering and the elevating is not describing Judgment Day. It's actually describing kathiba, the person who was no longer able to lie. Remember the second ayah was, nobody will be able to lie on that day. No one will disbelieve on that day. And he's saying the disbeliever is being described. The liar is being described as the one who lowers and the one who elevates. Now, what does that mean? That actually means that when someone's lying, they try to use the low and high pitch of their voice to try to sound more convincing, right? They try to dramatize their speech to try to make it more convincing. It's as if Allah is saying on Judgment Day, nobody will be left that will be making eloquent speeches of highs and lows to be able to make a case about Judgment Day or against Judgment Day. All of this draminess will be gone. والخفض والرفع يستعملان عند العرب في المكان والمكانة والعز والمهانة. And lowering and elevating among the Arabs was used for station, for position, for dignity, for humiliation. So lowering is humiliation. Raising is honoring. So that day itself is a day that will bring about humiliation, and that day will bring about honoring. وَالْخَافِض وَالرَّافِعَ عَلَى الْحَقِيقَةِ إِنَّمَا هُوَ اللَّهِ. But actually the one who lowers and the one who elevates is Allah Himself. This is a concept called majaz, aqli. These are weird, like complicated concepts in balagha books, but I'm going to make it super easy for you. If I say, for example, the masjid held an event. The masjid held an event. Technically, it wasn't the masjid, it was the youth of the masjid, it was the committee of the masjid, it was the volunteers of the masjid. The masjid itself is a building, it didn't hold anything. It just chilled out on stationary, did nothing. But I gave credit to the masjid, but actual credit goes to who? All the people that were involved, right? But for short, what did I say? The masjid held, and everybody understands, nobody believed that the door got up and did something. You guys know what that means, right? This is called majaz aqli. So another example of that is if I say the government built a new highway. The government built, or they say in some countries, the king built a new highway. I'm pretty sure the king did not build the new highway. Okay? There were people that were sweating in the day and barely getting by that were building that highway. But in the end, what do we say? The king built the highway. Why? Because the king paid for them, the king commanded them, the king commissioned them, the king authorized them. In the end, it wouldn't have happened without the king. But then behind the king was an entire system that built the highway, right? So he's saying Judgment Day is going to lower and Judgment Day is going to elevate. But actually, it's not Judgment Day that's lowering and elevating. Who's doing the lowering and elevating? It's Allah. Do you understand the majaz aqli now? Right? So these are, it's really cool that we have these terms that they do sound complicated and they sound impressive. You could just say, by the way, this is majaz aqli. Anyway, before I let you go, I'm going to share some thoughts with you. These are not from tafsir. These are my own. Sometimes I add my own comments. Sometimes I say them. Sometimes I add them in my notes. This is one of those cases. How exactly is Judgment Day elevating or lowering and elevating? وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْجِبَالِ فَقُلْ يَنْسِفُهَا رَبِّي نَسْفًا فَيَذَرُهَا قَاعًا صَفْصَفًا. They ask you about the mountains. Tell them Allah will bring them down as low as they can go. So Allah is bringing down what on Judgment Day? Mountains. And He will make them flat. And then He says, وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ. When the oceans explode. When the oceans explode, where's the water going? Up. The mountains are coming down and the oceans are going up. I'll break the surprise for you now. This surah is a twin or a pair with which surah? Surah Ar-Rahman. Surah Ar-Rahman will describe something that will help us understand this. Surah Ar-Rahman says, يُصَلُ عَلَيْكُمَا شُوَاظٌ مِّن نَّارٍ وَنُحَاسٌ فَلَا تَنْتَصِرَانِ. Basically, Surah Ar-Rahman is describing there are going to be metallic burning meteor showers on Judgment Day. Meteors are going to start falling on earth relentlessly until it will look like the entire sky is torn open red. You will only see red in the sky because burning meteors will fill the sky up as they fall on Judgment Day. Now, as they fall on Judgment Day on a mountain, the mountain keeps getting bombed. What's happening to the mountain? It's getting flat. And when these burning meteors are falling into the ocean, crashing into the ocean, what's happening in the ocean? إِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ, when the ocean boils over. So the surah itself these surahs are starting to put pieces together of that scene, right? One little hint here, and the image is starting to become complete. خَافِضَةُ الرَّافِعَةِ, يَوْمَ تَشَقَّقُ السَّمَاءُ بِالْغَمَامِ وَنُزِّلَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ تَنزِيلًا. Allah says, when we tear the sky open through the clouds, and the angels will be sent down. So what's coming down? What's being brought down? The angels. إِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ خُشَّ عَنْ أَبْصَارُهُمْ يَخْرُجُونَ مِنَ الْأَجْدَاثِ. People are coming out from their graves. People are going up out of the ground, buried deep within. We don't even know how many people are buried 200 feet below this building right here. You know how far down people dig nowadays for archaeological digs? 100 feet, 150 feet, 200 feet, and they find graves. And guess what's happening on Judgment Day? All those deep within, sunk within the mountain, sunk within deep inside the ground, all of those dead are going to rise. Rafi'ah. The arrogant will be brought down. وُجُوهٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَلَيْهَا غَبَرَةٌ. Their faces will be filled with dirt. Dirt is down. ترهقها قترة. On the other hand, فَالْيَوْمَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنَ الْكُفَّارِ يَضْحَكُونَ عَلَى الْأَرَائِكِ يَنْظُرُونَ. Judgment Day, believers are going to be laughing at disbelievers sitting on high, lofty couches. وَالَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. People who had taqwa will be above them. So disbelievers are brought low. People of taqwa are brought high. خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. He says, إِذَا الْعِشَارُ عُطِّلَتْ. When the camel that was about to give birth to a baby camel, which is the most expensive thing an Arab had, was a camel and a she-camel, right? And especially if she's pregnant, he's doubling his money, right? So imagine having a Ferrari that gave birth to a Ferrari. But people will leave the Ferrari, keys, ignition in the car, keys running, and they'll walk away from it. They'll leave their Rolex collection just lying on the garage and walk away from it. The Chanel bag will be under somebody's truck. And nobody cares anymore. No, nobody will care. None of these things will carry any value anymore. There'll be diamond stores. The window will crash. All the diamonds will be spread out on the street. Not one person picking them up. People running right past them. Right past them. The same store, the moments before Judgment Day, people looking inside like, oh my God. How much? Value, what we think of as value, will be brought down. The things that we used to value will be brought down. They will have no value anymore. The value came down. And the things that people didn't value are going to be brought up. A good deed, a smile, a kind word, silence, patience, prayer, dua, charity, things that nobody valued. Things that, so what? What do they accomplish? Trying and failing, trying for the sake of Allah and failing, nobody values trying. People only value results. But those those attempts will be elevated. Inna kitab al-abrari lafi illiyin. The people of the book of good people is going to be in the highest ranks. Illiyin. They're going to be raised. Evil deeds are going to be brought down. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ فِي الدَّرْكِ الْأَسْفَلِ. The lowest pit of the fire. نَجْعَلُهُمَا تَحْتَ أَقْدَامِنَا. Give us our old people that misguided us. We want to put them under our feet. And what does Allah say about believers? مَنْ يَأْتِهِ مُؤْمِنًا قَدْ عَمِلَ الصَّالِحَاتِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الدَّرَجَاتُ الْعُلَى. Whoever comes before Allah as a believer and that had already done some good deeds, then those are the people that will have high ranks. خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. 2 words. 2 words. And then look at how much is captured inside them. Like he says, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ. A person will run from their brother, mother, father, spouse, children. They'll run away from all of them because they're like, there's something more important. I don't care about any of you. شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. There's a situation I got right now that makes me not care about any of you. On the other hand, يَوَدُّ الْمُجْرِمُ لَا يَفْتَدِي مِنْ عَذَابِ يَوْمِئِذٍ بِبَنِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَأَخِيهِ وَفَصِيلَتِهِ الَّتِي تُؤْوِيهِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. A criminal will come before Allah on Judgment Day. Allah says he will try to ransom. What can I pay you? Ya Allah, just what can I pay you to be saved? Here, take my children. Okay, take my wife too. Take my brother. Take my extended family. Take my mom, take my dad, take my brothers, take my sisters, take my kids, take my nephew, grandson, take everybody. You know what? Ya Allah, just this rest of the population of the earth, take them. وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. Take everyone on the earth. Ya Allah, let them burn in hell. Can I go? I offer you. وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا ثُمَّ يُنْجِيهِ. You know what's happened? Everyone you loved, not just everything you loved, everyone you loved, their value is brought down. The people are like, people ask all kinds of fun questions. Like some ladies have a lot of concerns about men having, hur in Jannah. There's going to be hur in this surah. Sorry, ladies. Right? And they're like, my husband, if he's going to have hur, then... Listen, you're going to stop caring about him starting you don't even have to wait till Jannah. Starting Judgment Day, you won't care. You'll be free from this concern. Right? And Allah will take care of everyone's emotions. But here Allah describes the things that we value so much now. And then on the flip side, ill feelings. Like there were some bad feelings we had that were elevated. Like you had a grudge with somebody. That was elevated. There was a conflict. You could never fix it. Every time you tried to fix it, it got worse. Allah says, وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِم مِّنْ غِلٍّ إِخْوَانًا عَلَى سُرُرٍ مُتَقَابِلٍ.